Have you ever felt like life just throws battles at you, ones you never asked for? It's a feeling we all know. But what if the secret isn't about choosing the battle, but choosing the outcome? Today I want to share a story. Maybe it's your story. Maybe it's a friend. Or maybe it's just a story that needs to be heard. It's about a woman who found herself in a fight she didn't pick, a storm she didn't forecast. Imagine this. One day, everything is normal. The next, your world is turned upside down. It could be a sudden health diagnosis, an unexpected job loss, a relationship falling apart, or a personal crisis. Leaves you breathless. The ground beneath you vanishes, and you're free falling. This is where her story begins. The battle chose her. It arrived uninvited, a loud, disruptive guest in the quiet house of her life. Her first reaction: fear, confusion, and a profound sense of unfairness. Why me? She screamed into the void. It's a question that echoes in the hearts of many, isn't it? The world felt cruel, random, and she felt utterly powerless. For a while, she was adrift. The waves of despair and anger tossed her around. Every day was about survival, about just keeping her head above water. The battle was relentless, draining her energy, her hope, her very sense of self. It seemed like the only option was to be a victim of her circumstances, defined by the struggle that had been forced upon her. She was a ship without a rudder, at the mercy of the storm, and honestly, who could blame her? When you're in the thick of it, it's hard to see anything but the fight. But then, something shifted. It wasn't a sudden, dramatic lightning bolt of inspiration. It was a quiet, subtle change. Maybe it was a sunrise after a particularly dark night. Maybe it was a kind word from a stranger. Or maybe, just maybe, it was a tiny, resilient spark within her that refused to be extinguished. She looked at the battle raging around her and had a profound realization. She couldn't stop the storm. She couldn't unring Daybell. She couldn't choose not to be in this fight, but she could choose how she fought. She could choose what she was fighting for. This is the turning point. She realized that while she didn't choose the battle, she could absolutely choose the outcome. And the outcome she chose wasn't just survival. It was victory. Not a victory over the circumstance itself, because some things can't be beaten in the traditional sense, but a victory over what it could do to her spirit. She chose to define her own ending to this chapter. So, how did she do it? She started small. She chose to get out of bed when every fiber of her being screamed to stay hidden under the covers. She chose to find one small thing to be grateful for each day, even if it was just the taste of her morning coffee. She chose to reach out to a friend, even when she wanted to isolate herself. Each choice was a small act of rebellion against the powerlessness she felt. Each choice was a brick she laid for the foundation of her new reality. She chose her weapons. Instead of anger and despair, she armed herself with grace and resilience. She sought knowledge, learning everything she could about her situation. She armed herself with support, building a community of people who lifted her up.
She armed herself with self-compassion, allowing herself to have bad days without seeing them as a defeat.
She stopped seeing herself as a victim of the battle and started seeing herself as the hero of her own story. The battle didn't magically disappear. There were still the hard days, setbacks, and moments of doubt. The storm still raged, but she was no longer being tossed around by the waves. She had built a lifeboat of her own making, powered by her choices. She was navigating the storm, not just enduring it. She was charting a course not just away from the pain, but towards a future she was actively creating. The outcome she was steering toward was one of strength, wisdom, and a profound understanding of her own power. Her story teaches us the most powerful lesson of all. Our circumstances do and have the final say. We do. The world will throw battles our way, big and small. We won't get to choose them, but we always get to choose our response. We get to choose and whether we are defined by the struggle or refined by it. We get to choose the out. So the next time you find yourself in a fight you didn't ask for, remember her. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, what outcome will I choose? Thank you for listening. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that empowers and inspires. Your journey matters.